Hey guys, Tyler here, bringing you some more CoHrona Cup action. This is another one from top 16 or round 2 of the tournament. And it's a North American Classic matchup. I thought I'd bring it to you. JaeforJett playing as US Forces versus PauL playing as us there, who straight away locks into defensive. And now Jay locking into Rifle Company. This is on Ploiesti Outskirts version 2. This is a map from White Flash, one of the new ones. Well, yeah, looking forward to it. I personally don't have any experience. I don't think I've seen it before this cast. So hopefully we'll learn more about it as we go along. Looks like these roads are not roads, no negative cover. A quick look around at the start. And yeah, interesting actually. The fuel point is connected through the VP, so I guess that would maybe reduce the amount of standard territory points a little bit, maybe by 2 on this map. Not sure. Anyway. Either way, it's an interesting design. Cutoff being a VP. And okay, pretty standard Ostroupen build here. 3 Ostroupen with a machine gun. Defensive commander. Not Ostroupen commander. I do generally feel like Ostroupen commander is superior because I find it very, very hard to use sector artillery in 1v1. Okay, PauL charging in with the Ostroupen, not the ideal way to use them. And this squad not even in the cover bonus here, so having a third the amount of accuracy they could have. It's a little bit of an inefficient one. Jay here diving onto the VP / cutoff and should be able to sneak behind the bushes to get that cutoff continuing. But eventually PauL does win out on the far side. Our superior numbers. Now Pyro's coming around the corner. Rifleman, it's going to be a 50-50. And it comes down to model drops from that position. Looks like the Rifleman might be able to win, but Jay's not going to take the risk. Knows that, you know, if he does end up losing, he still has to retreat through the machine gun. Doesn't want to cut it any finer than that. So a nice safe retreat there. And yeah, Ostroupen out. No cover around here for them to get their cover bonus, so can't stand a chance against the Rifleman. And Jay coming over here looking to set up shop with a sandbag on this cutoff. So some good early plays here from Jay. And PauL not really getting the most out of his Ostroupen so far. The cover doesn't seem to be favouring him. Second machine gun coming out now though from PauL. It's on the outside of the map though, so can't assist against both of these Riflemen. So you know, despite Jay being down 4 squads to 6, he is performing very well. And PauL, by going for the extra machine gun, does delay his tier 2 tech. Doesn't have the manpower to afford that, so we're not going to see like a super fast like flamer half track or something that we sometimes see with these kind of Ostroupen builds against US forces, or maybe a fast 222. And yeah, with this commander you don't get access to sandbags with your Ostroupen until Vet 2. I mean 2 command points rather, so in case you're wondering about that, not an option for PauL yet. Yeah, forces away the machine gun. Overall, a really strong start for Jay considering how badly he's outnumbered. PauL should definitely have better control than this. But this is overall pretty good. You know, Riflemen are very good in close range. And Jay forcing engagements at that range very frequently. Okay, looks like he's got forced away from the center, the machine gun covering that effectively. Lieutenant going to be the option. Actually, like a pretty early ambulance. Jay has a couple low health squads here. But okay, he's going to have to send them back onto the map at that low amount of health. Starting ambulance maybe a tiny bit late if that was going to be his build decision. Besides, he can't afford the loss in map control by leaving them in base to heal up and try and conserve manpower. So he's going to go back onto the battlefield. And PauL is spreading out, getting a lot of control thanks to such a large number of units. The double rifles arrive and force away the Osttroopen. S-mines down onto the munitions point. But so far, I would have to say PauL's like machine gun usage not the best. Kind of sending out machine guns by themselves and his other supporting infantry by themselves rather than using the machine guns in tandem with his other units. This machine gun over here looks like it's about to pay dividends on the lieutenant. It's bugging out, something weird with its fire. They're only firing very, very short bursts. Unusual. This one's still covering the central VP. But yeah, Jae doing very, very well. Considering Osttroopen usually gets you off to a very, very strong start. Tier 2 down for PauL, so he has his mid bunker down already. Jae sticks around, gets the neutralize. And retreats still at 5 men, so with that ambulance back there, he's going to be able to heal up. Echelon in here, maybe swept off 1 or 2 patches, but still plenty left there, not safe. And wow, Jae getting a flank on the machine gun through the center. He's off to a roaring start, now going for the Stuart. 222 going to the option for PauL, but you know, coming in at close to the 7-minute mark. That's a pretty late 222, especially for an Osttroopen start where you get to skip tier 1, you know, saves you a decent chunk of resources. Questionable decision here with 222 this late on. Flamer doing some good work. 222 is okay, you know, against this Stuart if you get on rear armor. And just generally, I do quite like it. As long as your control is very strong with it, but it does mean he's going to have to go for a pack shortly, and with this commander, unlike the other one, unlike the Osttroopen commander, you don't have that weapon drop to try and bolster your mid-game for cheap. Get that access to the pack and the machine gun, MG34, through the drop. Which, I can't remember, is that 3 or 4 CPs? I'm not sure. Maybe you wouldn't have access to it anyway at this stage. Once again out in the open, no cover bonus. Now getting forced out. Osttroopen coming in from the side here, but it's awkward for them. There's not really any good cover positions here that they can move to flank the rear echelon from. But in comes the machine gun. But this is not the best positioning for it. Double rifles coming in from the side. PauL has to retreat. So yeah, so far I would say PauL's Osttroopen play not terribly impressive. His use of cover with the Osttroopen lackluster, and his machine gun support is constantly out of position.
We are losing a sector.
Now, some repairs, but PauL's about on the battlefield playing some S-mines in fact. Which can be crushed by the Stuart. Speaking of, doing some crushing on them in the center of the map right now.
The enemy is taking our
He's now
territory.
retreating. Okay, Osttroopen making their way out this side. Jae once again trying to get on the sweeping on these S-mines, but he arrives in time to conserve them for a little bit longer. Pack coming out now for PauL. Looks like maybe he's gearing up for a bit more of a coordinated push on this left-hand side. Stuart going to work in a really nice hit there. Units clumped up in the light cover. And Stuart to get some nice damage in. Machine gun setting up. And forces to retreat there. Pack coming in. He took a little bit longer though. He kind of like decided to go this way, then came back around to this side with the Stuart on it. Okay, now going for the 50 cal. Machine gun from PauL in a nice position there to shut down the lieutenant attempting the flank, and PauL instantly packs up, so he's ready to go to the next point after capturing that one. Pack came forward, it's got one shot on the Stuart. Stuart backs out. Once again though, no cover usage here from PauL, and now he's at the required amount of command points. Could be considering putting down sandbags with his own Osttrooping. Or trenches maybe. Okay, jumping into this building. I don't have much experience with this kind of building. Looks like it's got two windows maybe in each direction. And then 3 windows on the side. He did have a flamer like right there. Where did that go? It looks like he retreated it. Strange. Maybe he got suppressed by the 50 count. 222 coming, trying to clear it out. He's Osttrooping getting hung out to dry here with no cover, doing almost no damage. Sacrificial lambs. We allow the pack to get in position for a shot though. Pretty close to Vet 1 on that now. Osttrooping once again out and no cover. Machine gun repositioning. Bars now equipped on the rifleman. Ooh, snare coming through. Bioflamer jumps into the building. Rifleman gonna have to get out of there. Fire up activated on the rifleman, but they charge head on into the air spines. They were looking for the wipe on the retreating Osttrooping squad. Air spines shut that down. Peter's chasing away. Rear echelon on the far flank. Machine gun pushing forwards. He could even consider coming up and with the munitions point. Looks like Jay gonna switch sides. No, knows that the pack's on this side. Going across to PauL's weak side. Knows that P-Green's over here. No Shrek's underway either. He does have quite a lot of munitions, PauL. Shrek could be an option. But most likely wants to keep the mid-range firepower anti-infantry on the P-Greens. Bolster the decent long-range firepower of the Osttrooping. Maybe look to get a second pack, or maybe a fast medium tank out. He's got his tick just about complete. Stuart coming in from the side here. Pack is nearby. So there's one squad Osttrooping. Snare gonna connect here on the 222. 222 in a bit of trouble. Pack, very slow to set up. Turning around now. Osttrooping coming in for the Faust. Set up, needs to land this next shot, otherwise the Stuart will escape. No, what happened? Did he lose sight because he's in the vehicle wreck? But he resets up, gets the kill. In the meantime though, the Pyro Flamers go down. PauL not paying enough attention. So he salvages the situation, taking down the Stuart. Oh boy. Oh man, what was that from PauL? He just left that squad there to die. That was really bad.
Area secured. Our supply line just got cut off.
Now looking for the flank. 350 cal is going to be the option here for Jay. That is a lot. But 50 cals are generally pretty good in those like machine gun versus machine gun duels here. Behind heavy cover, if he can get the suppression on the MG42, probably win that one. Another cutoff here from Jake, just constantly jumping onto that VP cutoff. And there we go. Oh, enemy KIA. PauL losing another Osttrooping. Got one left. Going for another pyro, and he's going for the Strug E. Okay. Bit of a stopgap measure. You don't need to build your tech to call these in, right? Bit curious why he went to so much trouble building his tech only to go for a Strug E. Or like researching his tech, building the tech. These days it's pretty cheap after that, so close to the same thing. He was just about there for like a medium tank, and now he's in trouble. Sometimes you see players go for Struggies, you know, instead of tier 3, maybe double Struggy as a bit of a stopgap measure to transfer them into the late game, but this was a very curious decision. Oh boy, Pios. That was a fresh squad of Pios. Loses them and drops the Flamer again. So Jay just sitting pretty after this with a huge lead, but by going for that third 50 cal, I feel like it has maybe delayed his tanks a little bit. Major underway though. But maybe we'll be able to sustain the bleed. No bazookas on the rear echelon yet though. So his defenses to the Struggy actually quite weak. Going to be relying on snares largely. Oh, Riflemen pick up the Flamer. Like Rifle Company days of old. Struggy coming through the center now. Oh, PauL going down fast to the 50. So coming in from the rear, takes some damage. He does make it home. That's quite a P-Green's going to be the option from PauL. Jay doing a pretty good job of dodging the Struggy projectile here. As I say that, he stays stationary, takes a huge hit. Oh, an attack round there from PauL. Good shot. Actually does quite a lot of damage to the oncoming troops as well. Nearly got the wipe even. Pack in a bit of trouble. Looks like he's sent that out maybe to do some capping. Almost backfires on him. Some S-mines going off. Oh, I guess on the 50 cal. Should be out to the far side. And now Jay just about there for the Sherman. That's going to be his option. I imagine it will be. Don't really need to go for Jackson to deal with the Struggy.
Capture point is being overrun.
But he might be thinking easy 8. And yeah, maybe. S-Mine's going down again for PauL. Yeah, seems very committed to these S-Mines this game, which is an interesting strategy.
Our supply line just got cut off.
Back the other way. I don't think I've seen Jay plant any mines with his rifle, and maybe he's more of a fan of fully equipping them all with bars before investing too heavily into mines. Double P-Greens charging forwards, but these double bar riflemen more highly vetted, and the Flamer from the side as well fires up to dodge the bundle grenade. We're looking for the wipe here, but not going to happen. It's going to win. This squad doesn't look like it's got any bars, just the Flamer, but it is Vet 3.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Jay ends up retreating. P-Greens win. P-Greens leaving the cutoff there. Maybe a slight mistake. Struggy coming in for a couple shots from the side. Maybe hoping to catch some squads on retreat. And whoa, he ends up just retreating the P-Greens. Man, PauL, I feel like we've seen him play better than this in the past. Quite a few just small errors. It's starting to accumulate now. Oh, really good hit there from the Struggy. A lot of health damage. Yeah, just missing a couple touches, you know, building cover with the Ostrupen. A few miscaps, a bit slow setting up his pack against the Stuart. Well, the Struggy is going to be the option from PauL, and it is going to be the easy 8 for Jay. Struggy opening up. Really good hit, nearly half health from that rifle squad straight away. Good Follow-up shot. In comes the Easy 8 now. We've got the pack reasonably close to the Striggy, but no squads with the snares. Only got one Ostrooper left, which could leave him susceptible to the Easy 8. Looks like the first one charging straight down the center, and for the Striggy on the far side. And as I said, no snares, one pack. PauL is not prepared for this. Checking the P-Greens, no Shreks on the upgrade. Comes a snaring squad potentially. Pack coming through the middle. Easy 8. Oh, attack round attempt not successful now. Easy 8's going to take a snare after that pack shot. No, PauL not snaring it. What happened? Oh, that's a big mistake. Now Jay can just easily wheel back to safety. In fact, even going on the offensive. Coming across to deal with this machine gun, and turns over. PauL not performing too well so far. Maybe a bit rusty. Striggy out the far side repairing. At least he didn't lose the Striggy. Jay did make like a slight pathing error over here with the Easy 8. Just allow the Striggy to escape. But look at his army. Like, look at that. That is a beefy army. Even with his Sherman decrewed, still with a 10 popcap lead over PauL. PauL does have another pilot squad coming out. Can put his tech down, maybe even go for the Strug G. Bolster his anti-tank forces. Ooh, big shot. Zook is forced away. And come double bars. The flank. Green's coming in, looking for the flank on the 50. Jay pulling it back nicely. Oh, nice angle from the pack from PauL. Grenade missing. P-Green's on full retreat. Triple machine guns here. Jay just really hard to flank them in that position. Let's have the Struggies though, and they do have 50 range, can be very effective, and wow, that pack getting some nice long range hits in there. A bit of good luck. Struggy shutting down this harass. Nope, PauL's going to go for another Struggy. He has gone... no, he hasn't. He's only got one pack. One pack. To deal with the tank, I guess. But this does seem to me like, you know, through my game sense throughout this match, it feels like Jay would have had a larger fuel lead than this, but maybe that is partially due to this map. Being unfamiliar with this map, maybe these cutoffs are a bit more brutal than I realised. Grenade in. Okay, one of the machine guns getting decrewed. Easy 8 coming forwards. Pack. Where's the pack? Got me forced it away. Very, very low. We'll bring it around the corner. Not bring it back. Easy 8 going for the chase down. One more shot and the Struggy is dead. And there we go. Struggy down. It's just such a tall task to cover an entire map with your only source of anti-tank being one AT gun. It is very, very hard to do. On top of that, you know, only has one squad with snares. We're also losing a P-Gren throughout all of this. Now Jay with a really, really large lead. Hard to see how PauL comes back from this. I thought maybe, you know, he did tech battle phase 2. And it is very cheap to then go put your tier 3 tech structure down. I thought maybe he's going to go for a Strug. Instead of a Strug E, Strug G. Can't deal with the Easy 8, but no. And yeah, he got caught short there. Pack, you know, low, got forced off by infantry, out of position. Easy 8 just charged in for an easy kill. with like no snares, almost no anti-tank, and now look at this, a huge blob instantly decoying the machine gun as it tries to set up. Jay going to fire up and try and get the steal now. So Jay with 4 machine guns and right about there for another tank. Easy 8 would be, you know, another decent option. We're finally investing into more anti-tank. Another pack going to be the option here. Does have enough munitions for the sector artillery as well. Oh. Okay. There we go. Pack connecting with the Easy 8. There's combat on the far side too. Bundle grenade in, but you could see Paul was going to go for the bundle grenade. He kind of like ran forwards. Did give away that the bundle grenade was coming. Easy dodge for Jay.
Ready to deploy.
You can do a fake out like that. You know, you can run forwards like you're going to throw the grenade, not throw the grenade if you've got enough health to linger in the engagement, and then throw it like a bit later, especially if there are engagements going on in other parts of the map. Whoa! Silo explodes. And a nice show of fireworks. Taking quite a lot of damage from these Zooks. Forcing back the Easy 8 on the far side. Stug very low, but Zook is not going to chance it. Not going to risk getting wiped to try and go for the kill. 3 on that Stug now, 12 kills. Decent performance. This one's getting cleared out again. Tank running over them.
Attempting to steal our sector.
And so far I've seen, you know, Jay make much better use of this building than Paul making use of this building. Interesting. Oh, and here we go, sector artillery coming down. Jay trying to vacate the area. Not, he manages to get the cap on this one. Might still suffer a little bit of artillery for the trouble though. Sector artillery shells can sometimes come down on slightly outside of the sector, I've noticed. Okay, jumping on top of the cutoff, bit risky. But Major takes a big shell from the sector artillery. And now it looks like they've run out. Steer coming through here from Jay. Been sprinting forwards, maybe hoping to get the flank on the pack, get the D crew there, unsuccessful. And Paul now in a pretty tight cluster here. All of his units working together, just making it tougher for Jay to exploit those vulnerabilities. Well, pack came forwards to try and kill off this cover. And there we go, that's enough of a moment for Jay to get the kill on another Struggy and then get away safely. Paul trying to activate target weak point here on the pack, but runs out before he gets the shot off. 6 round a little bit long, but the Easy 8s have enough health such that he can take that a little bit. Oh, Easy 8 coming around the corner. Bazooka's also doing some nice damage. Double packs. Positioning, this one not so strong. And Easy 8 just going chasing right into base here. Ooh, double packs connecting. I lose the Easy 8, but a Faust. Ooh, connecting and main gun critical. Is it? No, he's just on prioritized vehicles. No, that gun's... Yes, he's got a main gun critical, I just can't see it. Turret does look a little bit limp, doesn't it? You see it over here anyway. Pack finishes the job. Unable to escape. But you can see what a difference having a Faust nearby makes. Like, Jay has to be so much more cautious when that is the case. Rifleman charging in with the fire up, hoping to get the snare off, unsuccessful. Easy 8 just about back up to full. Jay with the triple cap now though. Paul herded into his base sector. And look at that, 5 machine guns now for Jay. He's got 50, MG42, 50, 50 with this MG42. So 2 MG42s, 3 50 cals. He's got all the machine guns. He's going back out now for PauL. The machine gun's just locking PauL out right now. 50 cal packing up. No. Oh, okay. Not. I thought he'd go for the reset up. He's yet coming in from the side, but no, just playing it safe. Early retreats. Gotta try overplay his hand while he's this far ahead. There we go, double packs connecting, Easy 8 on the run. But yeah, nothing to follow up here for PauL. That's why I was maybe suggesting a Stug as a decent option earlier on, because you can go for those chase downs. And one extra shell can make the difference between whether you get the kill or not, especially against the Easy 8s, which have a little bit more health than the regular Sherman. Allows them to tank 4 shots and survive. Jackson going to be the option now for Jay. Safer option. You can fire from 60 range, but you can stay out of range of those packs a little bit easier. And he is very comfortable in the anti-infantry game. His infantry vastly superior to PauL. Machine guns all over the show, so doesn't need to worry about the anti-infantry from the Easy 8. He's already got that pretty well covered. And here it comes now. Both tanks healthy. See what he can get done here. Rifleman advancing. Lieutenant with the sprint forwards. He's backing up and kind of pretty effectively, getting some decent damage on the advancing troops.
We are losing a sector.
And we want to head out to this side. Double Struggies. Good damage. Double packs hurting back. Easy 8 now as well. Here comes the Jackson from side. Not on Prioritized vehicles, revealing its position. Double Strugs. Oh, Rifleman going to get close enough for a snare on one of them here. Could be trouble for PauL. PauL advancing with his packs, running into his units. Could decrew one of them. Oh, Jay forgot about this rifleman, it looks like. Ends up losing it. Didn't even go for the snare. A bit clumsy there. Looks like he's jumping out of his tank and getting some repairs done instead. Ooh, oh, Pyre goes down to the MG. In fact, that was the crew on the MG. Looks like it was facing the wrong direction there. Going forwards. Probably be out of range. Yeah, yep. Misses his first shot though, a little bit unlucky. Oh, grenade onto the pack. The Vet 3-1-2. Be ashamed to lose the veterancy on it, and there it goes. Double Shuggies backing themselves into the corner now. Now, PauL's packs a little bit too far away to assist in this engagement. Stuggy's in big trouble, and PauL throws in the towel. Well, overall I'm not too big of a fan of PauL's strategy here. He's gone for Osttrooper. It tends to lead to a pretty strong start because you don't need to build tier 2. You can just, tier 1, you can just run straight onto the map, start capping. Osttrooper also called in very early on. Leads to generally a really strong start, but PauL did not get a strong start this game. Not very good use of cover with his Osttrooper constantly out of cover, no cover bonus. Goes for his 2-2-2 at an extremely late time and goes for a second machine gun instead. Maybe he was unfamiliar with this map, and early game the cover situation did not seem to be very good for the Osttrooper. It seemed like they were constantly without cover position, especially close to a lot of the capture circles. But then even, once he did get access to the ability to build cover, he never did so. And just generally quite a few small mistakes here from PauL. GG, and we'll go on to game 2. So here we are for game 2 of this series. PauL opting to play as US forces also. He's going for heavy cavalry though. Maybe we'll see some revised Pershing action in this game, coming in now at 12 command points and having a reduced AoE, also costing 30 manpower more. Jay back the other way, not playing as Ossir. He's going for OKW. It's definitely more of an OKW player historically in these tournaments. And his loadout is Firestorm, Elite Armor, and Grand Offensive. Take a few more looks at this map. Yeah, these points here do seem to be really tough for Ostrupen. All around, like most of, or like a whole bunch of these capture points, there is like almost no light cover. It does look like you might have a tough go of it early game as Ostrupen. Tank trap back here, Rifleman closing the distance. Don't quite deny the capture there though. There's another Fox Grenadier from the side, this squad of Riflemen closing in. These Fox Grenadiers refusing to drop models for a very long time, but now two squads firing on them, they're dropping fast. And Jay, I'm not sure about this close the distance here. Seemed like he was doomed to lose this engagement. But maybe try pick shots from range there. But instead here, close distance. And wow, that's a surprising play there from PauL. Full retreat. Gonna bring those riflemen back up on full strength. I thought he might try to, you know, send at least one of them through to the center, do some capping, especially this commander being able to put down those sandbags. Can be quite advantageous in the early game while there's not too many enemy units to run around and shoot at you while you try and plant them. Jay going to have a couple folks coming out, not full strength, which could hurt him in some of those engagements. But he has had like uncontested access on the far side of the map. Sternpire is just capping up everything there. And that is an interesting split from Jay. Sternpioneers out by themselves. Folks all together on the opposite side. And there we go, 3 versus 1. PauL cannot stick around there for too long. Jay not actually full retreating there, just trying to soft retreat, hide behind the shrubs. And it may end up working out for him. PauL having to bring this rifle squad back to assist in the engagement, otherwise could have lost these Sternpires. Sternpires refusing to drop models, do end up forcing the retreat, still at 4 models. There we go. But could even win this one now if they get really lucky. No. Finally drop the models and the riflemen come out on tops. But pretty good play there from Jay. Forcing like an extra retreat there. Leads to a little bit less map control from PauL. And you can see Jay in a really good map situation. He has got most of the territory under his control right now. And well, unless I saw him lose a Fox Grenadier. Oh, only 3 folks into tech. Oh, yeah, he got his truck out at least. Might not be teching quite yet. No, he is teching. And it's going to be the mechanized. Interesting. Very, very early tech there. Usually you'd see 4 folks into tech. Sometimes you'll see this strategy like a 3 folk into tech. Maybe if you're going for like Jaeger lights, but no Jaeger lights. The loadout here for Jay. So that's an unusual build. But I guess he feels like, oh yeah, I've had strong enough map control in such a strong early game, and I want to now focus on getting some MG34s out instead of Fox Grenadiers. So like interesting build option there. Slightly deviating from the standard 4 volt action. PauL here not quite behind cover with 2 of those models, it looks like. Slowly losing this engagement long range. 50 cal now the option from PauL. Watches his on-field strength a little bit. But yeah, it will mean that he will bleed more in the long run. Yeah, I'm not going for an ambulance at around this timing. Imagine it's going to be 50 cal into Stewart. Unfortunately, it is here for Jae. Soft retreating to the building, but you know, all 5 rifles from the rifleman firing should be able to win this engagement pretty easily. Empire's closing in. Rifleman very, very low in health, bringing the other squad of rifles over to assist. This squad falling back to the heavy cover. And 50 cal there, forcing the retreat on the far side. Now PauL looking to make up for his poor map control. He's coming back in from the other side with the STG upgrade as well. And these squads also popping the STGs now. And now PauL actually goes to the ambulance. He's losing these models very quickly though. Rifleman need to get out of there if he's going for the ambulance now. Makes sense to retreat a little bit earlier. It looks like the squad wasn't fully behind heavy cover there. 50 comes in from the other side, gets suppression on this squad. Empire is very quick to move on to the other side of cover though to try and evade. And an incendiary grenade there to force the retreat. Jae does not want to concede territory, and in comes his machine gun. MG34. So PauL retreats, and looks going to be the option for Jae, coming in at a reasonable timing. Not especially slow or fast, despite his very fast tech up. PauL did manage to jump onto all of these cutoffs, which is basically just 2. 2 points and you're fully cut off. Both sides. So it does deny Jae a lot of resources, but Jae about to fight back strongly with the looks. But PauL, you know, gonna still hit a pretty fast timing for the Stewart, considering he did tech or decide to go for both the ambulance and a 50 cal for the Stewart. Usually slows it down a long way, but it's been alright. Jae also returning the favour, capping both of PauL's cutoff points there. 50 cal from PauL left to complete the capture. Didn't activate the AP ammo or something, just trying to get out of there.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points. Contact!
Still 10 fuel to go for PauL, but currently it is coming through quite nicely. And looks from Jae, unrelenting, getting aggressive, coming into the base here. No bazooka in the works for the lieutenant either. Every 50 cal can activate the AP ammo, which can help. I've been charging forwards, maybe threatening the snare, but no. Jae decides to disengage, but overall pretty strong start for the looks there. Causing a lot of retreats and damage. Now PauL having to go for another retreat past the looks. There's a couple more models from that squad. Jae not chasing in for the kill though. Now he chases in, maybe a little bit late. Oh, he's going in. And, ooh, I thought that rifleman was just in range there for the snare, but not quite. And PauL does take a bit of time out from going for the fast Stewart. Decide to take weapon racks, get some bazookas out now. They will delay his Stewart a little bit further. A little bit strapped for manpower on that. Just coming across to the 50 cal. So grenade in. Still going to do a little bit of damage to the 50 as it resets up. Bazooka's coming in from the other side. 50 cal at risk of going down here. And Jae threatening the steal on it. In fact, he's going to go for the steal on it. Might cost him his Volkswagen here. No. They get behind the barrels. Might be safe. Oh, not quite. Or does end up getting the white bazookas chasing in here. More damage onto the looks, but it's going to survive. Looks like PauL getting a flank on the machine gun on the far side, also forcing retreat there, but... Whoa! PauL not going for the Stewart, going for some ranges now. So I guess he's saying, I don't need you, Stewart. And ranges going to be the option. They are also very strong if you get bazookas on them. That's going to be Thompson's on this occasion. So PauL just relying on AT grenades and one set of, or like one echelon bazooka squad to get the job done here. See PauL straight away running right onto the cutoffs on both sides. After forcing Jay off the map. He's learning about this map, learning about those cutoffs. And taking full advantage of them on this match. The second one. Jay now going for a squad of Fusiliers, having selected Grand Offensive. And he's got 2 machine guns, so he's still got pretty strong anti-infantry firepower. Still a bit too early for him to be putting down his tech, though he could consider it, honestly. I wonder what position you go for, maybe to try and cover one of these cutoffs. It feels like that would be like a reasonable position, maybe put it down around here, covering this cutoff. Stumpy's forcing retreats on the far side. Still a bit of munitions left in the bank for Paul. Some bars. Yeah, Thompson's getting chased away. In come the rear echelon Zooks. Both connecting. They need to pull back for repairs. Stumpy's on the other side of the map though. A bit tricky to achieve. Yeah, here we go. Truck coming in for now for Jay. He's got 800 manpower spare at the moment. Sometimes at this timing, you would maybe consider going for like a precautionary Raketen. I guess Jay's like, I'm not going to get a Raketen until I see that Stuart, because quite often in these games, if you do get that precautionary Raketen, and your opponent never gets a light vehicle, that expenditure of manpower can sometimes lose you the game. So he's going to wait until he sees Stuart before doing anything about it. But I think on this occasion he was quite far ahead. Probably could have got it anyway. Making their way there. No bars on these riflemen, boosting their firepower, so it makes it home. And Jay with such a good amount of map control now. Paul getting the Stuart so late. I thought he was just going to not go for a Stuart at all, honestly. But he's in an awkward position, you know. Sometimes you can kind of make do without the Stuart with bazookas with a 50 cal with the AP ammo equipped, but he lost his 50 cal, so he doesn't have that extra bit of firepower against the looks, and it's been hurting him. Really struggling for map control right now. Jay's truck looking to set up, going for a very aggressive positioning here, covering the VP and the fuel point with it. Closing in, hoping to get the snare, but Jay is kiting very, very nicely. Stuart lingering around the centre. Bit of inactivity with it here. Now mobilising. Missing its first shot though. Sandbags destroyed. And now we do have a Raketen from Jay. Look, he's still got 800 manpower in the bank. He's going for like 2 squads of obers. Still have some in the bank. Connecting with the Stuart now. Twice, in fact. Cal out in the front. It's getting a bit of suppression here now, turning its attention to the stolen 50, but it's out in the open. Dropping health fast. Rifleman coming in from the side against the suppressed troops. And now Rangers thinking about closing distance. Here they come. Looks ripping in a lot of damage. Bazookas leave the building. Connecting with the looks. Pushing away. Thompson's charging in, but Stumpy's doing a lot of good damage to them. They do manage to force the retreat. Another Raketen, however. Hasn't quite completed the Panzer authorization upgrade yet, so no flak firing at those rifles. He's going for a deep flank on this MG34 over here now. Interesting, they can't fire over that. It's a sight blocker. Running right ahead of the machine gun. Here we got flak gun upgrades. Gets the suppression on. Lieutenant looking for a flank on the stolen 50. Stops inside of the arc of it though. Still forces the retreat. G34 from the other side getting some suppression in now itself. Here come the rear echelon bazookas. Clear out the heavy cover there. Still a little bit too far back though. I thought it'd be closing the distance on the looks. Allows Jay to get a little bit more damage on with it. And now connecting. Jay a little bit slow to bring up the MG34 over here. Stuart goes out to the far side to fight some infantry. Not ideal though. RE Bazooka's about to get forced off. Going to allow the looks to come back in and do even more damage. Stuart pulling back now. Looks going in for the wipe on the bazookas. Knows that the Stuart's on the other side of the map. The path is clear. Doesn't quite get it and backs out before he gets snared by the rifleman. And I think I heard a rifle squad go down somewhere. No, there was... No, it was rifle squad. And now Faust and Raketten's connecting as Stuart comes back through the center. And there we go. Jay with a enormous lead right now. Bazookas looking for an angle. Double machine guns sitting up on them though. Oh, machine gun from the other side though. PauL just so far behind in terms of fuel. Jay about to hit his Panzer IV PauL. It's about 60 fuel away. And that last 60 is going to come in a lot slower once Jay's tank arrives. Cal in pretty good position here for PauL, getting a few retreats. Just coming around the corner as well. Oh, bazookas, nice connection. Forces away the stern pyros. Now gotta look for the flank on the machine gun. Bazookas both connecting, main gun critical. Grenade onto the support weapons. Now Zook's unable to get the kill. Either way, that was pretty good play from PauL. Going from a few different angles there. Jay having trouble holding on. Machine gun in a nice position, getting the suppression. Would have been some of the best play all series from PauL, honestly, that sequence there. But yeah, I feel like PauL's been a bit off his game. I don't know if it's rust, I don't know if it's unfamiliarity with this map.
The capture point is under attack.
But this is not the strongest we've seen him. He has managed to get his major out, and he is actually pretty close to attack now. Jay opting not to go for a Panzer IV here, which is allowing PauL a little bit more map control than he would otherwise have.
We got a new unit ready and on the field.
So there's no P4 running all across the map, forcing retreats everywhere, leading to some dominant map control. A second Rakett from Jay, so that suggests he is going to be going for the Tiger. Second Rakett just in case he needs the exchange to tank. Just doing some nice damage. 50 cal there and support. We're going to set up his 50 cal, but just gets scraped by some suppression. Rifleman, oh, no munitions for the snare. So looks going to be able to get out of there. Oh boy, Ranger's in some trouble. Oh, Ranger's going to get wiped. PauL not paying attention. PauL looking for the wipe of his own. Soft in the way. When you look for the wipe, you're getting wiped somewhere else on the map.
We're losing a capture point.
In this case, it was a fresh set of Rangers for PauL. Very, very costly squad to lose there. Did not get the wipe in return either, so There's another squad down.
Supply line just got cut off.
Take in. Decent damage. Now could still go down. Rangers not focusing
Overrunning one of our
the other
capture
squads
points.
instead. Not looking for the wipe on this occasion. Ari Zook's coming forwards. Connect nicely. Main gun crit. Count on the back. Gonna look for some suppression on this MG34. There's another machine gun back there covering that one. Now Jay with such a commanding amount of map control. Paul did have the resources to go for a Sherman. I'm a little bit surprised he didn't go for one. Tried and scrape his way back into this game with it during this timing where Jay was not quite there for his Tiger, but it's going to be too late for that now. We did have the option, trying to go for the Sherman, then side-teching into the captain, getting out an anti-tank gun. He would have, just about had resources for here if he didn't go for that second set of Rangers. And then the captain also would have bolstered his anti-infantry, which would have... He didn't need the Rangers quite so much. Here comes the Tiger. Zuka's there to meet it. Ooh, big shot. Half health, one model down. Is he going to go full disrespect here? Cruising into the US Forces base. Maybe going to look for the ambo kill. No. He's playing it conservatively. Going to overcook it. This is just looking grim for Paul. He's hanging in there, hoping for a turnaround, hoping for Jay to make a mistake. Nothing major from Jay so far this match. Very good looks control as well. Very good kiting with this constantly. And it's got Vic 4 on that as a result. 26 kills. Whereas Paul, I don't know, I can't attribute this to just being unfamiliar with the map, because the build decisions, the options he went for, I also do not agree with, like, almost at all. Go for a second squad of rear echelons with bazookas here. I feel like this is a scenario where Rangers with bazookas may be slightly better against the more heavily armoured Tiger. Those elite bazookas do so much more damage. The Tiger, higher penetration, higher damage. 3 of them too. Either way, the bazookas do force back the Tiger here. Rangers trying to force away the machine gun. Made onto it. Bazooka's connecting nicely. Tiger getting low here. He does end up forcing back the Tiger. Ooh, big exit shot from the Tiger, long range connecting, and that is a lot of low health rear echelon. Next comes in to follow up, hoping for the wipe. Echelon, ooh, does go down. Just finishes the job. And that's going to be it for Paul. GG. Let's blame it on the map. But yeah, both of these games, I do not agree with the build paths that Paul went with. Like, both times he got his light vehicles just so late. So late. What was that, like a 12-minute Stuart? Maybe you can get away with like a 12-minute T-70 because it does so much anti-infantry damage and it scales so well into the late game. But 12-minute Stuart, man, very questionable. And then the way he used it also didn't look that strong. Never really found that good of a moment to go chasing after the Panzer IIJ with very good control of it. Eventually Paul getting bled out here. But yeah, I do think PauL probably should have gone for a Sherman, side-teched into captain, got an AT gun out. And that would have been his option, but oh well. GG, Jay takes the series 2-0.